And when I had my heart surgery on October 9th, 2012, I had to come to grips with, did I want to live? And I chose to live, obviously. But yeah. And for the first time in my life, I didn't fight anything. I surrendered to that. And
Oh.
the healing kind of started at that point.
Well, it's such an honor to have you in the Thriving Place, JoAnn. Dr. JoAnn McManamy, thank you so much for joining us. Thrilled. I was sharing that the first time I met you and had the honor to sit down and talk to you was nearly 3 years ago. Can you believe it? In San Diego?
I just celebrated a significant birthday at that conference. And
Yes, you
yeah.
remember.
Oh yes.
I did.
Yes.
I turned 50. That was my 50th birthday present to myself to go over to this event. And it was just phenomenal. And meeting you was definitely a highlight. And we've stayed friends ever since. And I saw that you recently took a trip to London to go to the Public Health Collaboration
Oh,
Conference.
that was a celebratory trip for me. I've had a very difficult year health-wise. I grew a rock in my derriere and it needed to be
Oh,
removed. And I had botched surgery in July, and I almost got sepsis. And I have to credit my diet, androcollagen, and my dermatologist um, for catching it and getting me a real big dose of antibiotics. And I
mm,
hate taking antibiotics, but
right.
sometimes they're necessary. And and I got over it and had to live it. I had my actual surgery by a fabulous surgeon on what was that date? March 13th, and it was a Friday. And 2.5 weeks later, I was healed. And he said, go to that conference. And then Jackie Fletcher called me and said, we're having dinner with you at the conference. So I took that as confirmation I needed to go. And I did it. And I had a wonderful time. And
Oh,
yeah, I really did. It was a very celebratory. And so I got through a tough situation because I'm in good metabolic health, I think was a major contributor. I life is so much better when you
yeah.
take care of yourself.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
let's talk about that. First of all, when can you just share with everybody, you're not a doctor of medicine, are you? What did you do
no,
your
no, no,
PhD
no.
in?
My PhD is a hybrid of psychology, business, and communication.
Oh,
And
amazing.
I basically consulted. Uh, I was too crazy to be a psychologist.
That's funny.
No, but I got good at it, and now I have a few clients. Uh, I'm a fear coach, and I am also a now certified by the organization.
Oh,
Uh,
bravo.
yeah, I got through all of that, and looking forward to going to Doug and Pam's conference in San Diego this year. I didn't
Oh,
go last year.
oh,
But
you didn't? I would love to
I,
come. I'm going to try and come to another one, not this year. So when you
yeah,
say this, the certified, so you mean the SMHP? You've got
yes,
that's
yes.
fantastic.
My coaching certificate from them.
Oh,
And
good on you.
it's been a long time coming,
Yeah,
and so I'll be out there mid-August. For the
beautiful.
yeah, so that. But uh, I did this slowly. First, I got my diet right because that's the only thing I new. I got that right. Um, and then I got the sleep right. Stress, I have a long way to go. Stress is stress.
Mm.
But I started with a trainer since I've seen you last. Just building that strength. I do a lot. I'm lifting over 20 pounds, back and forth and up and down. And just who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew? I just used to have, it was an effort to do 2 pounds. So
Yeah.
I've really grown with Zach, my trainer. And yeah, that's the biggest change because um, my posture is better. Um, a lot of pulleys off of my wall. I built a gym in my home.
No
I
way.
assembled my office. That's now in the kitchen, and it's just what my priorities are, and we just keep building it as I need something new. We're pretty good now on the weights, and
The strength now.
he
Just keep
he
that up.
works me out, and he's excellent for me because he makes me laugh. So and
Perfect.
he's very cute.
Well, that's definitely a bonus.
He's 29. Of
Oh, of course he is. So,
course he is.
age is just a number. It can
It's
still look.
he's perfect for me,
I
and,
love it.
we do but that's the latest thing. I've kinda got the whole picture now,
Good for
and I've
you.
always had good social relations, so that one was in place, but, if there's anything else I need to do, I just pay attention to everything, and staying informed is very important.
You said you were a fear coach or a well, I had a courage coach from when we talked
That
last time.
yeah,
Same thing?
that's, it's well, yeah, it's courage, but it's facing the emotional fears of, "I don't deserve this," or as
Big
I call
one.
them, the "yeah, buts." The "yeah, buts." "I can't do I like my sweets." "Oh, it's so hard." Those are the "yeah, buts." That's what you have to get through.
Yeah, so talk to us about that. Like, how did you
Yeah. It
fall into
starts with
that?
what you wanna manifest for yourself, and, I started talking nicer to myself, and yeah, and I didn't say it had to be done today. This was a process of my top weight of 280 or 20 stone, as the British call it. Uh, I just wanted to get to half of that, but in my own time. So I lost 50 pounds really quickly. And when I moved to Florida, it was 230 pounds. So it did go slowly, so it I didn't I guess I faced the fear about looking good and what am I going to be like as a slimmer person, and so the weight went off in chunks, and when I had my heart surgery on October 9th, 2012, I had to come to grips with, did I wanna live? And I chose to live, obviously, but yeah, and for the first time in my life, I didn't fight anything, I surrendered to that, and
Oh,
the healing kind of started at that point, and took another 5 years because I got afraid I was losing my eyesight. One of the symptoms of being diabetic was your retina, and then I found a very good retinologist, and he halted it. He halted it,
yeah.
and we talk about that. So, and so things started changing slowly, slowly in what I thought, and kept getting better with the food. I'm low carbohydrate. Um, I take electrolytes every day. I don't eat a lot of carbs, basically green things, and occasionally a fruit. Very small amount, clothed in a protein. So, I have it like cottage cheese or yogurt. So, those are my treats.
Was going to ask you when you were talking about the weight loss. I think so many of us come to this type of lifestyle for the weight loss, but it's kind of like we might lose the weight, but we find ourselves. I think we find there is so much. Uh,
So,
and did that happen to you?
oh, yeah, I came for the weight loss. I started out and I just kept going and I felt so much better. And I'll look far better than I did at 40,
Oh, wow.
even with the wrinkles,
Which
but,
is beautiful.
yeah, I just feel so much better, and, my life is so good now, I know what I can control, what I can't.
And that in and of itself can take a while to figure that out,
Yeah,
right?
it is,
You know,
it is, yeah,
it's a
don't be in a rush.
process.
Yeah,
Yeah. We
just
are in such a rush sometimes. I know when we talked a few years ago that you shared about, some her quite horrific traumas that have happened in your life and things that you've overcome. One of the things I'd love to know with, I suppose, what you know now, and where you are in your life, what would have been some of the things you would have loved to have said to your younger self who was trying to navigate life from fear and trauma?
that's a tough one, and I did, uh, some trauma work with my sexual abuse, and, I just wish I'd had the courage to punch a few people, actually, and just
Yeah,
really, really, say, "Enough," but you're a child,
yeah,
and, you just, I didn't know what to do,
mm,
and my mother raised 3 traumatized kids.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But the trauma though is, you say you that freeze response when you're in a position of powerlessness like that. So I've been doing a bit of study on, sort of really
mhm,
understanding the freeze response because it kind of gets caught up in fight or flight, but it's a very different
yeah,
response. And it's, it is a survival mechanism. We are actually, it's kind of our nervous system deciding this is the best course of action. And when you say, I wish I had the courage to punch a few people, I don't think it's courage. I just think you didn't have that
I did
survival. You didn't have the
that
energy
was
to do that,
yeah,
right?
no, no,
You
I
you were
yeah,
too powerless in being very, younger, and many other things would have come into that. But that you've learned as part of the healing is actually to actually physically, almost not physically punch people, but to come to sort of end
metaphorically.
that cycle, with that doing what I suppose you couldn't do back then, but what you can do now.
Yeah. I I in the perfect scenario, I would have run to my grandmother,
Yeah.
and, but she lived in another state. Both of
Yeah.
them did. So, yeah, anyway, I faced it,
Yeah.
did a lot of work on myself, and then could feel it letting go a bit, um,
Yeah.
when I stopped talking about my mother. I think I'm about 99% there, though, because I don't
Yeah.
talk about her a lot anymore. I just do on a podcast or
Yeah.
occasionally when I'm trying to find good things, and I have found many good things about my mother. She made me fiercely independent. Mhm.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. So when you went down this path of becoming a courage coach, was that because, like, I mean, I think we get led into see, doing things in life that we kind of maybe, like I think about me with coaching, it was kind of like, well, I really wanted to help people, but actually I think most of what's happened is I've helped myself, like I've learned myself the things that I've needed to learn. And then, I suppose I was able to be in a position where I could then share that with others. Was that what it was like for you?
Exactly, and it came
Yeah.
so slowly when I, first did my first coaching program. Uh, you've had to One of the major requirements was that you had to work on yourself and you had to be coached, and you got to see a lot of different coaching styles. You really learn to use your intuition more. That was tough for me to use my intuition because I was always reading the room. What do they expect? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. That's that safety response, right? Checking, am I safe? Yeah.
We had a model of, what's really driving you. It is safety for
Yeah.
me. And I just always kind of check it out. I vibe it out. And if I sense danger, I get out of the way, but it's real danger and it's not,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. So
That
uh
distinction's really powerful to see. I think
yeah,
that's as a coach, that's what I want my clients to see, because we've innocently created danger in our perception, in our mind and body, where there isn't danger there. There may once have been, or
yeah,
but for a lot of people it's not horrific, what you've been through, but it could just be criticism or being ignored or being not good
yeah.
enough, like you said at the start. And that actually creates danger in our body. Our whole system senses that danger. So the part of the healing is to really get clarity on, well, where is there a real danger and where is there just a perceived danger? I think that's quite challenging, right?
It is. And there are a lot of good coaching tricks that I learned. And just one of them that stands out is it true or am I making it up? And
Yeah,
if you can marinate in that for about 3 minutes, you're saying I'm making it up. And then you can let it go. And when you let it go, you perceive things differently.
yeah. Such a simple thing, but in the moment we often just don't, you know,
No,
we don't see it, do we?
no, we have to distance ourselves. And that's kind of what I do now is if I'm going to be angry, I own my anger, but I distance myself from coming from anger when I address something.
Yeah, yeah. And where
I
would you
look at
come from? How do you know if it's truly coming from you, or if it's, like a conditioned response, or, you
Well,
know
it's probably a conditioned response because uh I've had friends that like to, irritate me. Now, what's that about? Okay. Why do they have to kind of and I just oh, they are the greatest teachers, by the way.
Mhm.
They are the greatest teachers. So, you frame it, "Okay, this is a good lesson, and I'm not gonna respond the same way," and that's growth. And
Yeah.
I think we always attract what we need to learn, and when I'm not feeling good enough, I've had some bad behaviors, and I get to change them because now I see them.
Yes. The what was once invisible becomes visible.
Very visible, and once you see
Mm,
something, you can't unsee it,
mm,
as we know,
mm.
and, my life is much better for it.
You said you had a few, or you learnt some really great coaching tips in this, as a courage coach. Is there any others that you could share with us?
Yeah, let's see. I use the 4 A's the most and, ask if it's I'm making, is it true or am I making it up? Those are my two really good tools that I do all the time. Okay, no expectations. That's how other people, yes, no expectations of other people unless you have an agreement about, it's, well, you did this, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
expecting you to be this, and no, you're who you are, and you just accept people as they are. They're probably 80% what you want, you know? Just kind of get to know them and know how they handle things. Um, don't complain. Vent if you if you want to complain, change it into a vent, which means you have somebody who will listen to you and just not say anything. Just, is there any more you need to say?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no complaints, no beating yourself up. Toughest one for me.
Mm, mm.
I could have done that so much better. No, don't beat yourself up. Give yourself grace.
We are doing our best. So beating ourselves up for not being something, for it's
No.
quite bizarre, really, isn't it? But we do it.
Yeah, we do it. And wow, it's we build evidence. We build evidence as to, I should have known that. Whatever your evidence
Yeah.
is,
Mm,
or that person should be better because she's of this religion, or prejudice.
mhm.
Uh, yeah, in the
Yeah,
world we're in today, it takes a lot of courage to keep yourself stable in the chaos. We're in for a shift.
yeah.
And I don't know what that's going to look like, but it's going to be a shift. And kindness needs to return a little bit, but we only start doing that when we are kind ourselves.
Correct.
And to practice our core values. And
Do you know your core values, like, to heart?
ooh, yeah, because again, that's what I worked on, and they
Yeah.
change. It's I have to keep learning, and health are my two really core values.
One of my, core values I discovered on my adventure was playfulness. I've recently reconnected to that within me, and it's quite funny how my kids react. My older ones who've never kind of seen mum, playing around, they kinda laugh along with me. My younger ones are like, "Oh, cool, I like mum like this." Uh, yeah, I just think there's so much about this kind of healing is about remembering who we once were. Was it that famous quote, who we once were before the world got its hands on us and told us to be someone
Yes,
else.
yes. That reminds me of some things I'm doing. I guess I'm getting silly, and I did a roast of Queen Elizabeth at an event. It just kind of came from nowhere, but I was wearing my Rolling Stones jacket and a crown, and
Love it. And you
yeah,
just in
just
flow of
it
it.
just happened. It just happened,
Yeah.
and I ran with it. And,
Good on you.
so, you just be just outrageous sometime, and, yeah, that's so important, and
Mm.
I'm just, yeah, again, I've abandoned the serious professor for somebody a lot more fun. So, you gotta bring that joy into your life. You
Mm.
do deserve it, and that's a
Yes.
that's a dirty word, deserve. I mean,
Yeah.
my mother used to say, "You don't deserve that."
Mm. Yeah.
And my coach asked me, "Well, what if she's wrong?" It's always a good question. What if she's wrong?
What a beautiful question. That's very
Yeah,
powerful.
it's a very good question. Yeah, they that one will hit really deep.
That almost
Yeah,
brings me to tears, that one.
yeah, yeah. What if she's wrong? He's wrong.
Yeah,
And so many people have been wrong.
that's it. Yeah.
And you don't have to it's funny, sometimes I want revenge on that. I've only done revenge once, but it really felt good. And
Oh, I
with
love it.
with favorite high school teacher.
Aha. Okay. Yes, revenge is that's amazing. That's an interesting one too, isn't it? Because I think,
Yeah,
yeah, so much we hold on to. And I had a teacher once talk about
yeah,
this, and because people were arguing about, but they don't deserve my forgiveness, and the teacher just said, "Well, you're not forgiving them for them. You're
I know.
forgiving them for you." Yeah,
Exactly, you have to let them go.
yeah.
And yeah, because it, just hurts you. So, but
Is there anything you could kind of leave as a parting message for people that who are still struggling to be themselves, still struggling with fears, still struggling with just finding their purpose, I suppose, in life?
that purpose comes from the joy. And I'm doing what I want to do. I keep my brain active by going to conferences, reading everything, um, and I healed. I want to help other people heal. They need to want to do it. So I would work on the brain first about kind of facing some issues they didn't want to face, and then get a good diet, low carbohydrate, no junk food.
Yeah,
That's the
real
tough
good.
one for many people. Their love of sweets or greasy, salty things like potato chips, which is my nemesis. Because my God, and I know how awful I feel after I have more than 3. Considered myself a food addict. I'm under pretty good control now, whatever that is. I went to an addiction conference with Tro in London, and, boy, yeah, you know, you're meeting these really profound people on addiction. And
Yeah,
yeah, and my parents were both alcoholics.
yeah.
I have one brother that's an alcoholic. The other is working on his stuff along with me. I'm working on our stuff where we're addicted. He was more addicted to being right. And
Interesting.
I was addicted to the food along with many other of my female relatives.
Mm,
Uh, give yourself the grace and get away from the food.
mm,
Physically distance yourself from it. And like
yeah.
that means, I mean, I used to pull the potato chips out of the garbage in the bag. I'd fresh them all up, but they were still there. Days that were really tough.
Mhm.
And I worked too much in my 50s and 40s and 30s, uh, doing a lot of teaching. I probably taught 3 lifetimes full, and I don't want to go near that anymore.